10 million was a great achievement. By year end, we doubled that. It just shows we invested in our infrastructure for APIs. So we have global hubs around the world to allow people to interconnect easily. And really, really pleased that having invested in that, people are now making use of it. So we hit 120 million API calls last year, which shows you and previous year was less than half that. So it is taking off in quite a big way.
Hello. My name is Lakshmi Ajay. I'm an associate editor with Stat Media. And today I'm in conversation with Chris McDermott. He's the CEO of Champ Cargosystems. Welcome to this conversation.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Much appreciated.
Thank you. So getting into the questions, Champ Cargosystems is a wholly owned subsidiary of CETA and is one of the leading suppliers of integrated IT solutions to the air freight industry. Last year, the company launched a market analytics service providing daily insight into air cargo using system integrations to get updates, allowing customers to adapt quickly to market changes. What are some challenges this feature helps solve? Can you share any data on how market analytics connects, links, and evaluates data and insights faster to work for your clients? What kind of timelines and ROI can be expected from this feature? How many airlines and forwarders and supply chain stakeholders are using it currently?
Let me just talk overall about market analytics, because essentially that's about providing better data so that people can leverage value from that data. The way that the current industry works is you'll get information which is largely out of date because it's a couple of weeks old at best. Analytics does is it provides you with daily updates and allows you to look at your performance versus your peers. And we have actually come up with a very innovative and quite a simple business model. You share your data with us and you get the basic service for free. So in that way, it allows people to access the information quickly and the service and have a look at it and get access to it in a way that, as I said, compares them against their peers, but also looks at the market generally. So it's quite, as I said, I think it's quite innovative from that point of view. In terms of numbers, we've got over 80 airlines and ground handlers and forwarders connected now, providing the data. That's about 250,000 shipments a week, which is about 50% of the market already. So we've gone from a standing start to that already. So we're very pleased with the progress so far, and we're confident about it in terms of differentiation in the marketplace, being faster data and more up to date information so that people can act on that information.
You joined the company in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. Coming from a diverse background, specializing in passenger airlines, telecommunications, and managing global operations, what are some learnings or good practices that you brought here to this vertical, and how are you implementing them?
As an industry, the air cargo industry, I think I did a conference a couple of months ago, and at that I said, it's like stepping back in time, because air cargo is trying to solve problems that other industries have solved.
Already,
15 years ago, probably. And so bringing some of that experience, I think, is the first thing in terms of problem solving. The second thing is that when you look at what we've done in terms of joining up all of our solutions and being able to, because we provide a wide range of solutions to the industry, from cargo management through to messaging and connecting forwarders with airlines, and right through to at the far end of customs. So customs, when you look at the areas we're involved with, we're actually in quite a wide area, and it's joining that up and digitalising it is the important thing to do. In terms of our branding, so when I first joined, I reached out to customers and I said to them, what you want from Champ and what you want from this industry. And from the word cloud, 3 words emerged: open, collaborative, innovative. And you'll see those words now in our branding. They talk about both our technology and our culture. So from a technology point of view, we've opened our platforms. So we have the widest range of APIs available in the marketplace now, which allows you to interconnect with other services. Also about open culture and being open to new ideas. Collaborative. As an industry, we need to collaborate more, but it also is talking about collaboration internally. And innovation, I think, is the other thing that I've been bringing, I think, more to the fore in terms of what we're doing. So you'll actually see there'll be more announcements coming out soon about some of the innovative things we're doing.
Into what areas are these innovations?
In terms, well, market analytics is an innovation in itself. That was a first start. But when you look at IoT devices, for example, and the effect that they could have in terms of the supply chain and looking at more granular information and more up-to-date information on what is happening across the value chain. So IoT, because, as I said, I come from a telecoms background, and IoT is widely used in other areas now. And I think the price points are dropping of IoT devices to a level where they make them affordable at a shipment level.
In early 2022, JAMP launched an API partner program to promote collaboration around its flagship product, Cargospot, bringing together API developers from airlines, ground handlers, general sales agents, software houses, and other third-party companies to develop cutting-edge solutions for the Cargospot ecosystem. Talk to us about this initiative and its span and scope. How many members has it benefited, and the community that uses it, and what innovative products and API solutions have come as a result of that?
Well, APIs are a mechanism. As I said earlier, it's about making sure that as an industry, we're starting to connect more. And you will see that in some of the announcement we've made about number of API calls and things like that. We're actually experiencing quite an exponential growth because we're allowing other systems to interconnect with Cargospot. And by the way, we've just launched Cargospot Neo, which is a new generation of Cargospot. What APIs allow, as I said, are interconnectivity to other systems. So, for example, it's about letting people make use of their investments. So the example would be something like a CRM system, Salesforce, say. So if one of our customers has Salesforce for their selling and their customer engagement, we've allowed interconnectivity to Salesforce so they can go directly from it being a prospect straight through and connect with Cargospot. So there's an example. If people want to make payments, we've interconnected with leading payments providers. We've also linked it with the marketplaces. So the systems will come configured so that it will allow people to connect easily and more frequently.
In October last year, JAMP Cargosystems and ACS Group signed a new Cargospot contract based on the latest SaaS version of JAMP's vastly improved. Are these the features that you've already explained?
Yes, these are the features, and there are more features coming along in terms of digitalisation. Go quite frequently to visit warehouses and the amount of paperwork that's still around is just incredible. So one of the other solutions we're just launching is it uses optical character recognition, and basically as soon as you see paper, a paper airway will just scan it and digitalize it at that point, and then it's in the system and it connects automatically into Cargospot. So these are the type of things we're doing to bring new thinking and digital experiences to our customers.
I'm sure you would agree that the pandemic pushed the digitalization for the air cargo sector. But what needs to be done to further it, to advance it?
I think, as I was saying at the conference yesterday, you have to look to the wins for people. You have to convince them that there's a win-in for them to do this. And so what we do is essentially think about the business benefit from digitalization and get people to appreciate it will actually do something to their productivity, it will do something in terms of sustainability, it will do something profitability, as I said before. It's can you add to the bottom line, can you add to the top line, can you actually make a difference with the solution? And that's what we think about.
In line with the previous question, I believe JAMP Cargosystems achieved 10 million API calls in 1 month in August 2020. This is a figure from last year. What does this signify in the larger context of the air cargo embracing rapid digitalization, which was one of the mega trends apart from sustainability that came up in a big way post-pandemic?
Well, 10 million was a great achievement. By year end, we doubled that. It just shows we invested in our infrastructure for APIs. So we have global hubs around the world to allow people to interconnect easily, and really, really pleased that having invested in that, people are now making use of it. So we hit 120 million API calls last year, which shows you and previous year was less than half that. So it is taking off in quite a big way.
It's a well-documented fact that the air cargo sector is a laggard when it comes to adopting digitalization. What could sort of further it along on this journey?
As I said before, the business benefit, there are business benefits in terms of operational efficiencies that can be gained, and operational efficiencies obviously lead to better returns. So that's one thing. The other thing I would talk about would be sustainability. As I said, I go into the warehouses to have a look at the systems in operation, because we've moved a lot of people from back office to mobile devices as well, for example. So we make our applications available on mobiles and people can make use of them. So the amount of paperwork, as I said previously, that's still in the warehouse, so we can start to eliminate that as well. That's another cost, but it's also helping the sustainability agenda.
Transport IT firm SITA became the sole owner of air cargo software provider CHAMP Cargosystems after buying the stake owned by Cargolux Airlines. The transaction saw SITA acquired its joint venture partner's 49% holding in December 21. This move was slated to increase CHAMP's flexibility. How has the company fared post the transition, and in what direction is it looking towards 1 year on?
It's a much simpler structure now. That's the first thing. The second thing, as we said, it provides us with greater flexibility, and it has. And we're making significant investments in our products now. We've got a very clear strategy in terms of the digital agenda. We're working on a lot of activities which all add up to the future. For us is about one record, and making sure that as an industry, everything's marching in that direction. So you will see actually across everything we do, the digital agenda is all about how do we get the industry to a new standard, and every element of what we are doing now is working towards that standard. And I think one record is the future. I talked about my background in other industries. Well, in the telecoms industry, the reason that you get interconnectivity and everything working so well is because there are standards to do that. And we need a new standard, and that one record is that standard in this industry. And I think if we can all work towards that and collaborate, then I think it will make the industry much more efficient, and it will make it connectivity a lot easier.
CHAMP's broad customer base includes more than 200 airlines, GSAs and handlers, and more than 3,000 forwarders. Are there any expansion and changes in these numbers? Where do you see the next round of growth in customers coming from? There was much talk of reinvention during the transition phase. Are we moving in that direction? In this regard, I believe Shanghai Pilot Free Trade Zone Trade Nexus has recently turned to SITA and CHAMP to help digitalize it. I think the Shanghai Free Trade Zone and the Japan Airlines, Ethiopian Airlines has extended its partnership with you. So if you would like to talk about it.
I'm very grateful for for customers having the confidence now to extend their contracts. But the Nexus Free Trade is a good example of branching out into other areas. And it's an example of SITA and CHAMP. We're one, essentially coming together and looking for solutions to our customers' problems. And and our tracks and premium tracking there provides one version of the truth that everyone can look at and be assured that it is the absolute accurate data that's in there. So providing one version of the truth, and being able to branch out into these new areas, because we are working within a much bigger group now, and we can leverage that data in a much more meaningful way.
What solutions are you making for the free trade zones?
Well, as I said, it's called tracks and premium tracking, and it allows greater visibility of the thing you're looking to track. So if it's an airway bill number, if you're tracking an airway bill, then it allows you to be able to track that in a way that provides great visibility, provides great accuracy. And so it allows everyone who wants to have a view of that, who's allowed to have a view of that, to look at the data.
Finally, how the global aviation industry has agreed to try to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. How do you believe digitalization can help the industry get?
Most of what I've already said, because I think, as I said, there are things from the paperwork that's there. But the other thing I should mention is that CHAMP sponsors the TIACA Sustainability Award every year, and we get some great ideas coming forward to that, new products coming forward. And I'm always excited when we sit down and we start to look at the entries every year, because they provide new ideas, new innovations, and as an industry, it's really great to see those ideas coming forward. So fostering that whole spirit of innovation is the other thing we're looking to do.
So let me turn the question around. Labor labor shortages are something that the industry has faced in the last 2-3 years. How do you think digitalization can help there? Because this is an industry that's struggling to retain talent.
I go back to what I said about, for example, the mobile devices I mentioned. So that provides greater efficiency. Most of the people in air cargo nowadays will be digital natives. They'll be used to using mobile technology, and so providing them with the technology to allow them to do their job even better. So a good example would be if you see a spillage or something, a breakage, you just take a photograph of it, you scan, and it gets attached to the system. So there's no going away and doing something. That you on the spot, you'll be able to make that decision. I can see something's wrong here, and that provides greater efficiency. So that's just one example. And you're right, giving people the tools to be able to be more efficient is what we're trying to do.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for this conversation.
Thank you very much.